Hello everyone, welcome to the new video tutorial of Stutor. Before going to the video, those who haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to it and enable the bell icon to get daily notifications. So without wasting time, let's get on with the video. In the last video, we have learned about the morphology of stem. So in this session, we'll be dealing with the morphology of leaf. Now speaking about the morphology of leaf, it is a flattened green color structure born on the stem. It is born or developed at the node of a stem. I hope you know what a node is. We have discussed in detail in the last session. Suppose this is a stem and contains node here. This portion develops the leaf. And this portion here is the axil of leaf. And the axil of leaf bears bud, which later develops into a branch like this. Now let's see the parts of a leaf. Let's discuss with the diagram so that you can learn much easier. Now suppose this is the leaf we are discussing about. It has a base portion which contains a stalk, and this portion is known as a petiole, the stalk of the leaf, and the tip portion of the leaf is known as an apex, and this edge portion of the leaf is known as a margin. Now this enlarged portion, this flattened enlarged portion as whole, is known as a blade or lamina. Now this blade or lamina contains veins or veinlets, which is nothing but the vascular supply to the leaf, which carries water from the water and minerals from the soil to the leaf. So it is nothing but a water conducting elements which provides water and minerals to the leaves. That is what veins is. And this portion here is the base of the leaf. So in general, a leaf has a leaf base, a petiole, a lamina which contains veins and veinlets, which is nothing but the vascular supply to the leaf, which provides water and minerals. Now let's get on with the other aspects of a leaf. The first one is venation. Venation is the arrangements of veins and veinlets on a leaf. Veins and veinlets, as we have mentioned before, it is the vascular supply to the leaf which provides water and minerals to the developing leaf. So this portion here you see is the vein, and the structure which we see between two veins which form a network is the veinlets. Now if the veinlets are in the form of a network like in this particular leaf, it is known as a reticulate venation, which means the veinlets is in the form of a network. Now this reticulate venation is generally seen in dicot leaves. Now the second one is that sometimes the veinlets which we see here are parallel to each other. See, in this picture you see that veinlets are parallel to each other. Now this type of venation is known as a parallel venation. This parallel venation is mainly or generally seen in monocot leaves. Now let's discuss the different types of leaves. The first one is a simple leaf. A simple leaf is a leaf in which the lamina is entire. The normal leaf which we see in a tree or small plants are simple leaves, which means the lamina is entire, or have incisions that do not touch the midrib. So let's see a diagram so that you can understand much clearly. So this leaf in which the margins are entire, this edge portion of a leaf is known as a margin. This margin is entire or is known as simple leaf, or in certain other cases there are incision like this. This incision do not touch the midrib of the vein, midrib of a leaf. So this type of incision which do not completely touch the midrib are also a simple leaf. So this is a simple leaf in which the margins are entire or the incision do not touch the midrib. Now the second type of leaf is a compound leaf. A compound leaf is a type of a leaf in which it contains many leaflets. See, in this picture you can see that these are the leaflets which I have mentioned before. These are veinlets. There are many veinlets in a compound leaf. Now compound leaf is of two types, that is, first one is pinnately compound and the second one is palmately compound. In pinnately compound leaf, this is the picture of a pinnately compound leaf. Many leaflets are borne on a rachis. Rachis is nothing but the mid portion. This stem like structure which we see in this picture is the rachis. In this rachis many leaflets are borne. This type of leaf is known as pinnately compound leaf. The main example is tamarind. Now the second one is the palmately compound leaf, in which the leaflets touch to a common point. Example is papaya. Now this picture here shows the palmately compound leaf. So if you see here, the leaflets are touching at a common point, not like in this one in which the rachis has many leaflets on either side. In this picture you can see that leaflets are touching a common point. So this type of compound leaf is known as a palmately compound leaf. Now next aspect of a leaf is phyllotaxy. Phyllotaxy is the pattern of arrangement of leaves on the stem or branch. So the leaves may be arranged in a different manner in different plants on the stem. So the pattern of arrangement of leaves on stem or branch is known as phyllotaxy. In generally, phyllotaxy is of three types. The first one is alternate phyllotaxy, the second one is opposite phyllotaxy, and the third one is whorl phyllotaxy. Now let's see one by one. In alternate phyllotaxy, a single leaf is borne on each node. Suppose this is a stem, this is a node, it bears a leaf here. This is a second node, it bears a leaf here. So each node bears only a single leaf. Now the second one, opposite phyllotaxy. In this case, a pair of leaf is borne on each node. Suppose this is the stem and this is a node. A pair of leaf such that is opposite to each other are borne like this. So this type of phyllotaxy in which a node bears a pair of leaf is known as opposite phyllotaxy. Now the third case, the whorl phyllotaxy, more than two leaves are borne on each node. In the opposite phyllotaxy we have mentioned about only two leaves. In whorl phyllotaxy, from the node more than two leaves arises like this. So this is just a diagrammatic representation which I am showing here. From the same node more than two leaves. It may not be three, it may be four or more than two leaves are present in each node. The example of alternate phyllotaxy, hibiscus, which is very common. The example of our opposite phyllotaxy is leucas, which is also very common. And the example of whorl phyllotaxy is Lamina. So this is the pictorial representation of what I have said before. In alternate phyllotaxy, from each node only a single leaf arises. In opposite phyllotaxy, a pair of leaves such that is opposite to each other arises from each node. And in whorl phyllotaxy, more than two leaves. In this picture it is 4, so more than two leaves are borne on each node. Now let's see the modifications of leaf. We have learned the modification of root and stem. Now it's time to learn the modification of leaf. The first one is for support. Leaves in weak stemmed plants are modified as tendrils to grow into the surfaces. So for support, leaves are modified as tendrils. The example is wild pea. Now second one is for defense. Some leaves are modified as spines to protect from grazing animals. Now in the case of cactus, it is not actually for defense. In cactus, as we know, it grows in a dry desert area. So leaf, as we know, is a portion of the plant where major loss of water takes place. So as to reduce the loss of water in such conditions, the leaves are reduced to a spine-like structure, which are known as spines, to reduce the water loss. So that is the case of cactus. Now the third one is for storage. We know the example of onion, in which the edible portion are nothing but its fleshy leaves. So another case is that in certain plants like insectivorous plants, the leaves are modified in such a way so as to capture insect. So leaves are modified to perform extra functions in such plants and insectivorous plants. So what we see in insectivorous plants is the portion where they capture insect is nothing but the modification of a leaf. Now this is the diagram of the tendril leaf modified as tendril that I have mentioned before. Here this is a leaf modification as tendril for support. Now this picture here shows the leaf modification as spines so as to reduce water loss in the plant cactus. Now the leaf modified as storage of food is seen here. In the case of onion, this storage organ are fleshy leaves. Now this is what I have mentioned last. You know, the portion where where the insects are captured are actually the leaf modification of such plants. So leaves take up extra functions like capturing of the insect in insectivorous plants. So that is actually what we have to learn about leaf in general sense. Now let's summarize what we have learned so far. We have learned the morphology, function and modification of root. We have learned different types of roots like taproot, fibrous root, adventitious root. We have learned the regions of a root, so that's the basic structure of a root, and the modification of root. Now secondly, we have learned about stem, its morphology, function and modification. We have learned the basic structure of stem, including nodes and internodes and its functions, and we have discussed the modifications of root for various purposes. And finally, in this session we have learned about morphology, function and modification of leaf, including the structure of leaf, venation, phyllotaxy and various modifications of leaf. So that's all for today's session. If you have any doubt or queries, comment on the section below and wait for more videos. Thank you.